Here we go. Hey, everybody. Hi. I know we're in a little bit of a different setting today. I hope you can hear me okay. Um, we are actually live from Celebration, Florida. Yeah, we're literally kind of Disney World. So we're in Celebration, Florida. So I don't know if you guys have ever been to Celebration before, but it's this neighborhood near Disney World that is like, it's kind of like the Truman Show. I don't know if people around me can hear, but it's like these picture perfect like houses, and it's look how pretty it is here. What is happening? And Becky and I we're trying to find a place to do this live stream, and so we're sitting on a bench together, looking like it's a prom picture. Because it was the only way that we could do this. So you're gonna hear noises, but we wanted to hang out and go live with you guys today. Seriously, that guy.
We're live with sound effects.
Yeah, we have sound effects for you. So we were like, this is a Q&A. We want to hang out with you guys. We want to talk to you, even though we're at a different location. So for those of you who don't know, once a year, the Virtual Savvy team does a big retreat. I am not really good. I am not meant to be like a YouTube influencer. I cannot walk around with people around. So once a year we do, a big Virtual Savvy retreat, and we bring the whole team down, and it's a time for us to cast vision for you guys. Like, what are we going to do in the next year? What content are we going to create? And just a kind of a time to get to know each other, because you guys know we're all in this virtual world. And so there's literally team members that we hadn't even met yet that we got to that we got to meet for the first time. So that was super cool. So we just finished up our team retreat. Almost everybody flew out yesterday. Becky and I, our flight goes out today. And so we were like, let's just jump on together and do this live stream. So it looks like everyone can hear and see us fine. They would have told us by now. So this is just a Q&A. Here's what we want to know. You guys can ask us absolutely anything. We've been training virtual assistants for a long time now. And so literally anything from pricing, packaging, getting started, how to scale. You can just ask us personal questions if you want. That's fine. It's just a time for us to hang out. And ow, there's a bug in my eye. Beautiful Celebration, Florida. Okay, as you're posting your questions, I told Becky, so some of you guys don't know this, but I had a really traumatic thing happen to me when I was in college. In Florida, there are these lizards everywhere. And if you've been to Florida, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And when I was in college, at one point, one crawled into my pants and died. like I was hitting it because I knew there was something in my pants, but I didn't know what. And I actually ended up like hitting it, and it died. A lizard died in my pants. And so because of that traumatic experience, I'm literally really scared right now that there's going to be lizards like all over me. So
and I have a terrible sense of humor. So if one does go in her pants, this is going to be a lot of fun.
So this could be the very best live stream that you guys have ever seen. Okay, so we're getting some questions. Where are you guys? So we're in Celebration, Florida right now. We've been hanging out in Florida for our annual team retreat. So that's where we are right now. Looks like Melissa's joining us. She's probably getting on a plane soon, so she's probably joining us from the airport. I'm interested in your class. I'm wondering if next year the price will go up. I was told by one of your team members if I wait, I can get a 10% discount. So yeah, so if you guys don't know, we have a course called the Savvy System, and the Savvy System launches 2 times a year. Usually January and July is when we do our launches. And that first weekend when we launch, you get a 10% off coupon code. It's like our early bird discount. And so that will be happening. I think it's the 3rd or 4th week. If you go to thevirtualsavvy.com/waitlist, you can see when it is opening for the next time. But we would love to have you in the Savvy System. It's an incredible program. We've heard, I mean, we were literally just even hanging out with some of our employees this week that so many of them went through the Savvy System, and just hearing their client stories and like how they got their first client or how they were able to quit their jobs and all these different things like before they came to work for us. It was just really, really cool. So it's an amazing program. what else? We would love to hear questions that you guys have. Becky, what was your favorite thing about Team Retreat?
Favorite thing about Team Retreat, getting to connect with our team. We are a virtual team, and you guys know that sometimes when you're virtual, it's hard or it's easy to feel like you're alone. It's easy to feel that loneliness, that separation, isolation. So getting together and being with the team, just really making those deep connections to see their dreams and their visions for their roles and how they can better support you here inside of the company. It's so good. You guys have no idea what's coming. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
So stick around.
We came up with some really cool plans for you guys. Like this next year is going to be awesome. So I don't know. Have any of you guys ever got to meet like other savvies before? We used to do these things, these live meetups. And I think we're going to start them again, honestly. Yeah. So like, it's time. It's time to start our live meetup groups again. And so what we would do is anytime I was in a new city, whether it was just visiting family or a vacation, or I'm somewhere for a conference or whatever, I would just say, hey, like whoever wants to meet, like, let's go to a coffee shop and just meet up. And so, and we would usually get not a lot of people, like just maybe 6 to 10 people. And we would just do these little groups. So I got to like meet pockets of savvies. And then our team was even like, man, like we could host some of those too, because we have our team members are all across. So be on the lookout, because I would really start loving to like actually get to see, like getting to see and hug our team in person today, or, over the past few days. Like I just, you miss that connection sometimes when you're working remotely. So I would love to reintroduce those. I think that would be really, really cool. So
it looks like some people inside the comments are like,
yeah, people are like, yes, please do them. We want to do meetups. All right. Any other questions? Literally, this is just a time for us to get to kind of hang out with you guys. Any questions any like roadblocks you've been hitting in your business, anything that you can help, that we can help you with? Because honestly, we're just chilling here at a park in Florida right now. I don't know if I'm ready to go back to cold weather. Oh, it's so nice here.
It's been a beautiful weekend.
It's been really beautiful. Yeah. Awesome. Well, so just a couple of things. Let me tell you, you guys are so sweet. So let me just tell you about some really cool things that are coming up. Okay. So you guys know that, that we do these live streams every single Tuesday. So that's something that's going to be continuing for sure. We'll jump on, we'll do these live streams. There's usually a little more structure. Like we're always teaching something every Tuesday. This one was just kind of an informal pop-in. So it's going to be a lot shorter today. But then we do have like Black Friday coming up, which we actually decided not to do a Black Friday sale this year. We are going to do a Cyber Monday something. So we're not releasing what it is, but watch your emails, because we are going to do something for Cyber Monday. But we decided not to do Black Friday because it was kind of we want you guys to have boundaries around your work, and to like take real vacations. And we realized by making our team work the day after Thanksgiving that it really wasn't like giving them good, it wasn't like, what am I trying to say? Modeling that for you guys. And we were like, let's just not do that. So we're not doing a Black Friday, but we will be doing a Cyber Monday sale. So be on the lookout for that. And then in December, we always do some kind of a fun giveaway. So that's something else that I know is around the horizon. And then January is when we launch Savvy System again for the next time. So much good stuff coming up. Really excited. We just had a batch of new students join our Savvy Circle, which is our program for people already, making good money in their business, who want to go from, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 months to $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 months by implementing a high-end service. So we just had a brand new bunch. I know they've been doing awesome, right?
Oh man, they are doing phenomenal. We have clients or students in there who are selling $10,000 packages. And what would your life be like? What would your business be like if you could sell one $10,000 package to one client? It would just change the game for you.
Yeah, it's really cool because we get to see a lot of times in the Savvy System people celebrating their very first client. Mm-hmm. And that's one of my favorite moments on the planet, is when this like, oh my gosh, this thing really works, but then there's a whole different experience when you sell your first like high-end package, which is, a $5,000, $10,000 package. And it's just like, it's unreal. We say all the time that like we are changing lives in the Savvy system. Savvy Circle, I truly believe we're changing generations, because it's this, when you know how to unlock like that kind of wealth potential, I guess, which, you know, whatever, money is what it is, but it has the power to be used for so much good. And I know that that's what our Savvies are doing. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, there's some questions. And I know, sorry, some of you guys says looks like the video was not working. We are live on YouTube, on our Facebook page and our Facebook group. So I apologize if one of those isn't working. It looks like YouTube's working. So come into YouTube if the video stops working for you. Okay. The first question is, how do you know what value to give in Facebook groups? That's a really good question. So I think one of the best ways, and then I'll let you maybe chirp into what you think. So I think one of the best ways to give value in Facebook groups is to just be present and meet needs. Okay. So be present means choose like a few core groups. You don't need to be in 20 groups. Maybe, yeah, please don't. It'll be super overwhelming. If you're in 20 groups, you're not going to really show up in any of them. So you could join 20 to like figure out which ones you like the most. But then over time, you want to find like your core groups, or like, these are the 2 or 3 groups that I really, really love and just feel like are filled with my ideal clients. So once you've done that, then you want to just start showing up. Like sometimes we're like, I don't know what to post. Literally, you can go in and just share your experience. So if you're working on your logo, post your logo, right? If you are, you've come up with new packages, ask for feedback on them. Like, just make your experience interactive. You get your first client, celebrate your first client in that group, right? It's just like, what is happening in my business today and how could I share it or ask a question about it? So like, it could be celebration, it could be education, although I don't know. I feel like more like just celebration and asking questions is what people resonate towards. When you just go and do like a huge education post, sometimes group owners don't like that because they feel like you're trying to like take over as like the leader in their group, or so. I don't know. But I mean, I definitely, if you find out like a cool new hack that you want to just share with people, I think that's cool. So yeah, just show up, show that value in that way, be present. But then there's bugs on me. There's bugs. There's lizards everywhere. So many lizards here. So many lizards. There's so many lizards everywhere. So, hi. No, we haven't seen 2 dogs. I'm so sorry. We're at a park. Oh, the lady lost her dogs. I feel so bad. So showing up in Facebook groups, that's what we're talking about now. This is why we don't do live streams outside.
So to continue what Abby was saying, that's actually how I found my VA. Mm-hmm. And Melissa, you guys know Melissa, she's the COO of the Virtual Savvy. I found Melissa because she was giving value or actually asking for feedback inside of one of the groups that we were both members of. Yep. She simply posted, she may not want me to share this, but I'm going to share it anyway. It's fine. But she simply posted her new, I think it was her mission statement, and she wanted feedback on her mission statement. And that alone, and I commented, that alone said, I need you in my life. And so we sent messages back and forth, and I ended up hiring her, and history was made from there. But just go in these groups, communicate, don't be a stalker, actually be present inside of the groups. Yep. So good. Another question that's here is, how do you charge the client for system setup? Meaning if there's a fee to initiate the CRM on their behalf, also do you get their credit card to do that? So yeah, it kind of depends on the service that you're doing. So if you're just doing like regular general admin, you'll have your own onboarding process. And normally people don't charge to like onboard your client. You know, it's a little more work up front, but it's like, that's kind of the cost of getting a new client. But if there's certain things that whatever your service is that you need to set up for them. So maybe you're going to do like, you know, I mean, I'm going to think really, really like big scale. Like, let's say you set up Squarespace websites for people, and you're doing like a big setup, like you're like building their website, but then there's ongoing maintenance, right? So that would be like a big initiation, like kind of fee, but it's actually your service. But or yeah, if you're setting up somebody's Dubsado and it's like a one big time project,
but then you're going to go in and do month-to-month stuff afterwards. I think maybe that's what she's asking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's, I mean, yeah, I think that it's not always, it's not always necessary unless if you see by the way that you do your services that there's going to be a ton of upfront effort, then definitely charge for that.
She's also asking, like, is the client the one that's paying for the CRM? And then do you get their credit card to do that? There are two ways to do that. Either you can have them get the account started and set up and they can enter their own credit card information, or you can set it up and they do share their credit card information with you with that.
Yeah. I most of the time, we use for like password sharing, we use Dashlane. That's like the password sharing that we use.
There's a card feature inside.
And there's a card feature inside that. So you're essentially, your client could put their credit card information and you could enter their credit card information in to different software. It's not 100% foolproof. Like it doesn't always work. But that is one way. I was more on the like, hey, I just need you to like go in, put in your credit card information, and then I'll take it from there. If it was like something that they needed to pay for, just because I didn't want to be held responsible. Like if somebody else started stealing their credit card, I didn't want it to like, I'm like, I'm not touching other people's credit card information. So that was just a personal thing for me. So yes, great question. Here's another one. Is it okay to get clients payment up front? How do we say that for them not to think that we're a scam? So great question. Again, it depends on your services. And so I think that there's a level of professionalism that if you display it throughout, it's going to make clients more comfortable to giving some kind of upfront payment. So, and that goes in the way of the way that you do your onboarding, that it's very like organized, that you sign a contract and that it's both of you signing a contract before the invoice is even paid. That way it's not, I mean, like you have a legal document with them, right? So it's like that legal document, the contract is served to protect you, but it's served to protect them also. Is that the same? That's funny. So no, sorry. They're really looking for this dog. Now I feel bad. They're looking for the dog, and I feel bad for making fun of the very loud car because they're looking for the dog.
They're scaring the dog away.
I mean, yeah, that's gonna scare the dog away. Anyways, so yeah, I think that if you display professionalism and use a reputable software too for payment, so like something like Dubsado or Honeybook or even just Wave apps, like just a very professional invoice that has like your information on it too. Yeah, I mean, I think that if you use professionalism throughout your whole entire onboarding process, it's definitely going to make people feel more comfortable. Do you have anything else to say about that?
As you're getting started, and I think this generally comes from people who are just getting started in their VA business, they're really getting established. It is important that you go out of your way to appear as professional as you actually are. You are professionals, so do those things that Abby talked about. Have those contracts that protect you and the client. Show them I've got some skin in this game too. You doing background music and everything here. You doing the pre-work is really going to save your skin in the future.
For sure. Another good question. I know you need to put away 30% for taxes. What are the other percentage breakdowns? So that would actually be a really interesting blog post for us to do sometime, or like a YouTube video, or just one of these live streams of kind of breaking out like a budget for a beginning freelancer. I personally, so here's the thing, and this is important. You need to be saving back. We always say the number 30%. A lot of times you don't actually need that much, but I think that it's a good number to base like potential, how much you'll potentially need to pay in taxes. But remember that saving back 30% of your profit. Okay. So keep a spreadsheet of all the money that comes in and all the expenses you have. Guys, in the very beginning, you shouldn't have a lot of expenses. You may have invested in like a course or coaching program, and you may have a couple software tools, but I would honestly really encourage you to be as scrappy as you can in the beginning, because I know the tendency of myself, and I've seen so many other people do this too, is to just like feel like you have to buy all the software and all the programs and all the freebies and all the things. And then at the end of the month, you're like, wow, I made $3,000, but made zero money. And like, you didn't even pay yourself. Right. And so that's another thing, is that it's basically like the money comes in, right? Pay for your expenses, whatever courses, software, all those things. And then that's your profit. Okay. So let's say, I'm going to make this really simple math. Let's say that you made $2,000, and at the end of it, you have $1,000 of profit because you spent well, that's really terrible math, actually. Don't spend 50% of what came in on expenses. You don't need that. Let's do this again. Let's say that you made $1,200. Okay. And you spent $200 on expenses. That's better. That's probably a better ratio in the beginning. So you made $1,000, you spent 12, or you spent 200. Okay. That means you have $1,000 of profit. So out of that, I would save about 30%. So you're looking at like, $330 that you're going to put in a separate savings account. That is, about $330 you're putting in a separate savings account that's for taxes. So what do you have left there? So now you're going to have like $660 something, right? So at that point, what do I do with this 600? If it was me, I would put a portion of that, just kind of keep it in the account as a buffer, and I would take the rest, because so maybe I would take 500 and I would leave, $160 or something in the account. And that is because, guys, I see so many of you guys that aren't paying yourselves. Let's talk about this a second. Please, please, please pay yourself. And it's it's just a distribution. You're literally just transferring that money from your banking account, from your business banking account to your personal banking account, right? And you can do that after you've put the money away for taxes, right? So it's a profit distribution. So you're putting part of your profit into that savings for taxes, part of your profit to paying yourself, and then part is just staying in your bank account to to just have a little bit of a buffer. And I love having that buffer there. I think eventually working up to having like 3 to 6 months of expenses. So again, if your expenses were that $200, it'd be awesome to eventually have like $600 just sitting in an account as buffer space. So yeah, that is what I would recommend. What else? So many good questions. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being patient while we're in in a crazy environment. Let's see. Do you have any VAs that specialize in travel planning? That's a great question. I know that we have one that's like does like a bunch of Disney stuff, which is awesome because we're like in Disney.
That's a great niche, though.
It is a great niche. And honestly, I would go into our VA Savvies community. And so just type in virtual assistant savvies in Facebook, or you can go to thevirtualsavvy.com/community, and you can join our Facebook group if you're not already a part of it, and just post and say and ask the same question. Like I know that I've seen some, but just no names are coming off the top of my head. But great question, and a really good niche for people, right? I think that could be very, very cool. Awesome. Is 10% off your initial package a good sign up offering starting out? You can do that, but I don't think you need to. I don't think you need to do any kind of discounts. You're worth the rate that you've chosen. So be confident in it. I think that the person that is going to hire you is for 10% less is gonna hire you for your normal rate too. So I feel like once we start discounting, it gives people the idea that your services aren't really worth what you say that they're worth. And so I'm just not a huge fan of discounting, like,
know your rate
at all.
Charge it.
Yep. Know your rate, charge it.
I I saw a shirt the other day that said "Know your worth" and then add the tax.
And then add the tax. I love it. So good. Except we don't have tax for digital services, so it's perfect. So yeah, I mean, it's totally up to you. This is your business. You can do what you're comfortable with. I always tell people if somebody can't afford my services, rather than lowering my rate, I will change the package. So like if it was, like, hey, you can't afford me at $600 to manage, you can't afford me at $600 a month to manage your Pinterest account. And I was going to do, like this huge strategy rather than charging less for the same strategy. Well, what if I took out a couple pieces of what I was doing to create a smaller offer, but that still is like the same hourly rate on your end? Does that make sense? So once you have that hourly rate, I would stick to it because it's easy for that to be a slippery slope. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. This is really fun. I love getting to hang out with you in kind of an unconventional way. I just need you to see this park real quick. Hold on. Let me see if I can hide the comment. Okay. We're gonna look at the park. We're gonna look at Becky first, and she's so pretty. Okay. You want to see where we're at right now? This is just so gorgeous. I literally looked up a park on, just on like maps, and was like, oh, here's a park. We'll go here. And this is what we found. Look at this. Can you see how pretty this is? This is like the most gorgeous. Okay, get ready. Okay. This is like the tree lined. It's like so pretty here. I love it. Maybe I could be an influencer, Becky. Could I? I don't know. I'm a vlogger now. This is what I do now. All right. You guys are amazing. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we hope you have a good rest of the day. If we didn't get to your question, make sure you go post in our VA Savvies community. It's the most amazing community on the planet. Everyone is so helpful. And I think somebody put the link to it in the comments there. So go join our group and we'll see you next week. Bye.